The Dearborn Independent, June 25, 1921, number 35. Mr. Ford's page. Cities have a work to do, but when that work is done, cities will cease. Cities are schoolrooms through which most of the population of the country has been passed, and the pupils get out of them again as quickly as they can. The movement of the country to the city and the city to the country is a movement that will someday empty the cities and transform the country. In the cities, men learned how to live, and now that they are carrying that learning into the country, the function of the city as a place of residence seems to be about done. As central assembling plants and distributing points, some of the cities might continue to exist, but not as living places for hundreds of thousands of people. The city had a part to play in the civilization of mankind, but that part has been played. It is human nature to want to sit down contented, to get everything so nicely arranged that it will go without tending, but everyone knows that that is not the way life goes. There is a difference of tempo, a difference of purpose, a difference of method between human nature and life. Human nature would seem to be the sleepy pupil, and the forces of life the stern teacher who prods the pupil and keeps him doing what he would rather not do, which of course is the highest education, the best discipline, the power to do what we would rather not do. Every now and again something comes along to jar us loose and start us going again. The conditions we thought were settled turn out to be not settled at all. The method we thought was established turns out to be the most temporary of expedients. Life steps in and orders us to move on. The thermometer is one of the staffs of authority which life wields over us. You will find within a certain belt all around the world all the progress that is contained within the world, and the secret of that belt's prosperity, progress, morality, and superiority is revealed to us by the thermometer. The thermometer is mightier than the sword. Those races whom destiny has not set within that earth belt need not be fought with swords. The thermometer fights them and keeps them in their place. The people of the four seasons are 4 times set upon every year by the forces of nature. They have the sternness of winter, the promise of spring, the rich fruitfulness of summer, and the beauty of autumn in their makeup. They are not suffered to loll upon the earth as others are. The gad of destiny is always whisking their flanks. Take the gentler upset which the coming of the present season brings to our ways of thinking. Spring fever, so-called, and summer discontent are no mere individual restlessnesses. They are comparable to the tremor which sometimes runs through the earth. They indicate that new settlements, new bases are being sought for. What we overlook too often is the fact that our desires are prophets, foretelling what is to be. Millions of people at this season of the year are becoming sensible, often in a dull, dumb, unconscious way, of the difference between the way we have organized our life and the way in which nature has organized the world. People go out under the trees and beside broad waters. They endure dust and heat and crowding and the plaints of children to seek a place where they can lie on a shaded hill and idly watch the cloud fleets sail the sky. They get a new sense of the expense and freedom of the world. Their minds range where there are no walls, no bounds, no close schedule of limitations. Say what you will, this contact with nature, though it be but for a day, is more than a pleasure, more than a vacation from work. It is a jolt. People are made sensible of a jar between what is and what might be. Reflective people do not even enjoy the time of their vacation as they ought to, because it comes so clear to their minds that something is wrong. They may be inclined to think that it is merely their freedom from their usual work that causes this uneasiness, their freedom to think once more. But that is not always the case. The voice of nature is saying to them, "Up, for this is not your rest, you must march on." It is not that the city is hot, the country is hot too. It is not that the city means daily toil, there is daily toil in the country too. But somehow, at this season of the year, when the men of the cities come into the temples of the groves and see miles of meadows and the sweep of rivers, they are torn between two feelings. First, that the cities have their disadvantages. Second, that the cities have their advantages, too. One thing you may set down as true is that the cities are doomed, not immediately, but perhaps much sooner than even the most adventurous are willing to believe. There is no city now existing that would be rebuilt as it is if it were destroyed, which fact is in itself a confession of our real estimate of our cities. There is a strange new movement afoot, which is well to attend a little. Never was there such an influx of people from the country into the cities. Never was there such an exodus of people from the cities into the country. The two go on together. The people who don't know the cities are flocking in, as many as can. The people who do know the cities are flocking out, as many as can. Now it means this: the city has had a part to play in the civilization of the world, and that part is now being played in accelerated speed. All our cities have changed their inhabitants the last few years. More and more people have been passed through them to gain what they have to give. When the full part is played, and it is being played out fast, cities will pass off the stage. To this, many lines of indication agree. So, the unrest we are beginning to feel, and which we increasingly feel at this season, is prophetic. Men are going to live nearer the source of things, not walled away like exiles from the very sun by which they live, and from the very soil that gives them bread. The city had a place to fill, a work to do. Doubtless the country places would not have approximated their present livableness had it not been for the cities. By crowding together, men have learned some secrets. They would never have learned them alone in country life. Why, even the fresh air method of treating tuberculosis is a city discovery. Sanitation, lighting, social organization, all these are products of men's experience with each other in the city. That is, so say, practically all the improvements that have been made in country life have originated in the city and have passed on to bless the country. In that, we may see the city's place in the world. It was a gathering place in which men might work out those necessary elements of successful living, which, when transplanted into the country, will make the desert blossom as the rose, and, what is better, make the gray waste of life a colorful thing. People who are getting out of the cities now are taking the best of the cities with them, those discoveries and inventions which make life safe and pleasant, and which unburden men of loads that are better borne by iron and steel. It is not the advantages of cities that are doomed, but the disadvantages, the congestion, the inequality, which reigns even in the matter of air and sunlight and ground space. And yet, the world has known for many centuries that air and sunlight and ground space were not of themselves the infallible sources of happiness and success. For without certain improvements, even country life becomes an insupportable drudgery and an unrelieved lonesomeness. The advantages of the country are natural. The advantages of the city are human. When both are fused, as they are being fused, the cities lose in large degree their justification for existence. When they bring their best to the country, their work is done. Cities, in the sense of central assembling places for manufacture and commerce, may continue to exist, but people will live outside them. Wherever people can carry with them the advantages which the city has produced, they move out of the city. And that is the natural, necessary movement, for you cannot carry the country into the city. It cannot be done, or if it could be done, the city would be destroyed in the process. But you can carry the city into the country without destroying the country, but even improving it. So while it is clear that cities are to pass, let us not regard them as a sad blunder. They were a school for the race. They taught us something. They filled their place and did their work of education. But an end comes to every phase of education, and it seems clear that an end is coming to this also.